You have entered a holy place. What is your business here? This is the shrine of Azura, Queen of the Dawn and the Dusk. What is your business here, traveler? If you wish to speak to the lady, visit her shrine at dawn or dusk. Leave her an offering of glow dust, and perhaps she will deign to speak with you. The 9 divines are boring. Deidre? They're never boring. We serve her will.
I have seen your name, traveler, and heard it whispered in twilight. I ask a service which holds promise of fame and reward. Many years ago, 5 followers slew the vampire Dratic and its kin, but all were infected by the foul creature. Knowing their fate, they sealed themselves up in the vampire's lair. Their suffering weighs heavily on me. Travel to the gutted mine. The door will open to you. Bring the piece of death to my followers, and you shall earn my gratitude.
What is your wish, you who have been blessed by Our Lady's voice? The Great Lady has spoken. To you alone, the moon and star shall be your guide. There our brethren destroyed the vampire Dratic, but all were infected by the abomination and were doomed to turn themselves. It was then that Azura, may she bless our days, sealed the cavern, protecting the world from the monstrosities within. It has been sealed ever since. We serve her will.
can do?
Blood! I need your blood!
No! Die, cur!
Take that!
Ooh! Ooh!
Come here! Show me what you've got! Blood! I need your blood! Do your worst!
Thank you, mortal. Their spirits are free, and henceforth above my shrine 5 bright candles shall burn forever in memory of their sacrifice. For your service, take this token, that your deeds might be entered in the Book of Fate.
My lord, I would speak with you.
My lord? That isn't necessary. I'm just a man. Just a citizen of the Empire trying to do his duty. Just like you.
Of course, sire. I just wanted to let you know you're safe here, sir. Cloud Ruler is secure, and the blades stand ready.
You do me too much honor. But who am I? The bastard heir of a dead emperor.
If I may be so bold, you are the true Dragonborn, sir. There's no one here that doubts it. Any one of us would gladly die so that you may live.
The darkest days surely lie ahead. But I know that the blades will stand true for the Empire, as they always have.
Well, I've kept you long enough, my lord. Remember that I'm here if you need anything. Hail! Sorry, but I'm too busy to talk right now. Try one of the other blades. Perhaps Roliand or Cyrus?
I figured out another item needed for the ritual, to open the portal to Cameron's paradise. The second item is the counterpart to the first, the blood of a divine. This was a terrible puzzle to me. Unlike the Daedra Lords, the gods have no artifacts, and do not physically manifest themselves in our world. How then to obtain the blood of a god? But Joffrey solved it. The blood of Tiber Septim himself, who became one of the divines. This is a secret remembered only by the blades, passed down from one Grand Master to the next. Joffrey should tell it to you himself. I won't ask what you went through to obtain this, my friend. I know all too well the depravity of the princes of Oblivion. Are you ready to give me the artifact? Remember, the ritual will consume its physical form. It won't be seen again on Tamriel for many years. Ah, Azura's star, as beautiful as all the tales tell. You should talk to Joffrey. He needs your help. Trouble down in Bruma, I think. Be sure to speak to Joffrey about the armor of Tiber Septim. I'll continue my study of the Mysterium Xarxes.
I've just received word from the Countess of Bruma that an Oblivion gate has opened outside the city. It seems that the Mythic Dawn are putting their plan to attack Bruma into motion. Since you've dealt with these gates before, I'd like you to help the Countess's guard close this gate. Once they've seen how it's done, they should be able to handle any new gates on their own. Captain Bird is waiting for you outside the Bruma City gate. He'll show you the Oblivion gate, although I doubt it will be hard to find. You should rendezvous with Captain Bird immediately. The sooner that gate is closed, the better.
Thanks for coming. Since we had the hero of Kvatch available, I didn't think it made sense to try this on our own the first time. We're ready when you are. Just say the word and we'll follow you into that hell-spawned gate. All right, give me a minute to talk to the men. Everyone's a bit jumpy right now. All right, boys, listen up. We've got to close that gate over there. Nobody likes the idea of going into that thing, but it's our job, and we're going to do it. If we don't, Bruma ends up a smoking pile of rubble, like what happened at Kvatch. And that's not going to happen here, not while I'm captain of the guard. Boor, Soren, you're with me. The rest of you stay outside and kill anything that comes out of that gate. Let's show these bastards how we do things in Bruma. We'll make you right. This ends here. Yeah! 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 Stay sharp. That's the best you can do. Why won't you go? Look out! Am I supposed to be impressed? This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death. You're pathetic. This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death. Yeah! Yeah! This ends here.
I sure hope you know what you're doing. You did it, Captain. You closed the Oblivion Gate. We didn't think we'd ever see you alive again.
Believe me, it was no picnic. But thanks to our friend here, I now know we can close these hell gates. We can defend Bruma. It was an honor to serve with you, sir. Now that I've seen how it's done, I think my guardsmen and I can handle any new gates that open near Bruma.
I'm sure all of Bruma joins me in saluting your help in keeping the hordes of Oblivion at bay. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel. Another satisfied customer. Take care.
I heard that you helped the guard close that Oblivion gate. Thanks. We were getting worried about that damn thing. Armor, weapons, I have it all. How may I help you? A pleasure to serve you. You too.
It's a pleasure to see you. I've heard much about your deeds from my people in Bruma. I trust the stipend Tolgan gave you whetted your appetite. Good point. Allow me to formally introduce myself. I'm Countess Narina Cavain. I assume you've noticed all the Akaviri relics I'm displaying. Well, it's safe to say I'm a collector of sorts. I've invested a great deal of time and money acquiring these bits of ancient history. In fact, I'd be so bold as to proclaim my collection the most complete in all Cyrodiil, perhaps even beyond. Except for one thing. A particular relic has eluded me for many years. Possessing this piece of Akaviri antiquity would make my collection complete. I'm of course referring to the Draconian Madstone. The stone is a fine bit of Akaviri craftsmanship. Worn like an amulet, this talisman is said to protect the wearer from poisons of any type. The Madstone appears as a snake coiled around and encircling itself. The eyes of the snake are supposed to be precious gems or some such. Through my sources, I've learned that the last reported location of the Madstone was the ruins at Pale Pass. I've been looking for just the right owner for a special home I have. It's a quaint little house conveniently located just off the main gate. Wonderful. I'll have the deed transferred to you. Here is your key to the door. As I said, it's located right by the main gate. I've had a look at the place myself, and it could use some furnishings inside. Quite barren in there, I'm afraid. I'm fairly certain that Suratan at Nova Roma here in Bruma can acquire the things you'll need to make it look like home. Some see only the conflicts between northern and southern cultures, but I see the way they are stronger when woven together. Are you familiar with the history of Pale Pass? Back at the end of the First Era, raiders from the continent of Akavir attempted to gain a foothold here in Tamriel. At that time, the Empire was broken into smaller factions. Raymond Cyrodiil decided to unify them and form an army to repel the Akaviri raiders. The force became known as the Army of Raymond. The two armies clashed in what's now northern Cyrodiil. The Akaviri were strong and well supplied. But their greatest error was marching through Morrowind on the way to their objective and dismissing the response it would garner from Vivek. They didn't count on Lord Vivek forming an alliance with the Trident Kings of the Dreg. From Morrowind he struck at their rear flank. Not only did this make the Akaviri fight on two fronts, it also cut off access to reinforcements and supplies from the sea. Not quite. The army of Raymond knew that the organized Akaviri forces were commanded from a hidden post in the mountains. Rumors placed it in a snowy vale called Pale Pass. That's where Raymond focused his attention. As his forces fought their way across the Gerald Mountains, the Akaviri suddenly surrendered. It was assumed they were overwhelmed and gave up. The only strange part was that the command post and Pale Pass were never found. It was dismissed as a rumour, and the army of Raymond celebrated. It's come to my attention that the post did exist, and it happens to be the last reported location of the Draconian Madstone. If you retrieve the Draconian Madstone for me, I'll be happy to compensate you by rewarding you with another Akaviri artifact. Are you game? I had a feeling you'd accept. Good. Then let me tell you how you're going to find the Madstone. I've come into the possession of a diary, written by an Akaviri messenger. I suspect that the text within can lead you to the ruins. Here's a translation of the passages we could still read. It was quite damaged. I've also included a rough map that was drawn in the diary as well. I'm also providing you with a unique key that was supposedly found with the diary. I'm assuming it'll prove useful when you arrive at the site. I paid several scouts to try and find the ruins at Pale Pass before I hired you. They were only able to locate the first of a series of landmarks. These landmarks are mentioned within the diary. The one referred to as Dragonclaw Rock has been located. I'll mark it on your map. The rest is up to you. My scouts reported bitter cold and dangerous creatures in the area, so they couldn't proceed. Be cautious and return home soon. Good luck. May the path ahead be free of danger.
I hope I can help. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel. A pleasure to serve you. Take care.
Hail.
Sir. What can I do for you, sir? Cloud Ruler is many things. Temple, fortress, safe haven. But it's also my home. I'll gladly die defending these walls if it comes to it. The Emperor's death was a harsh lesson for all of us. We failed in our duty to the Dragonborn. It must not happen again. May your sword always strike true.
Have you helped Captain Bird and his men close the Oblivion Gate yet? Good work. Captain Bird and his guardsmen should be able to handle any additional gates, at least for now. But the Bruma Guard cannot defend the city indefinitely. The Daedra of Oblivion are innumerable, the guardsmen of Bruma are not. We need to gather what allies we can before Bruma is hopelessly besieged. If the Mythic Dawn manages to open a great gate here, the city will need a stronger garrison for there to be any hope of defending it. You should speak to the rulers of the other cities of Cyrodiil, as well as the Elder Council. Ask them to send aid to Bruma before it is too late. Keep working on obtaining the items Martin needs for the ritual. Everything else is just buying time for us to get the Amulet of Kings back from Mankar Cameron. Bruma cannot hold off the hordes of Oblivion alone. You should ask the rulers of the other cities of Cyrodiil to send help. You should speak to the rulers of Cyrodiil as soon as possible. The danger to Bruma is growing by the day.
Sir.
Yes?